I'm the Undersecretary of Finance and Administration and Accounting Officer of the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs, representing also, sir, my Permanent Secretary, who is not here today on account of other official demands. I think it's a privilege and a very big honor that it had to be me to stand here, and I don't take it for granted, CDF, sir, that I stand here today to represent the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs on this very, very historic day. Many of us are a bit emotional. Personally, I want to say, CDF, I'm very emotional about this day. I don't know how to thank you. I know that God has plans. He has a plan for everything. The Bible says there are seasons and times for everything. I don't think that you're launching this project today is just happening. It was designed and planned by God that it be you and it be now. So I want to thank God before I thank anyone else for this day, because, sir, you found us in a place that we called Kasokoso. Many of us here can identify with that name. That we never wanted to expand, we never wanted to add some other function. We would either bring a container, bring a tent, and for a headquarters of defense of a country like Uganda. So we thought that this gesture today on your part has, the Bible calls it, again, you forgive me, I keep quoting the Bible, removed the veil of disgrace and shame and reproach that goes with, that has been corrupted, stained, degraded, to the extent that, sir, we reached a point where we're shy about hosting countries, delegations of them, that would want to see the place that is a birthplace, a cradle for the change and transformation, not just here in this country, but beyond our borders, to really want to see this home and say, where is this coming from?
For finance, members of the joint staff, general officers and senior officers here present, junior officers, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Let me start by also congratulating the UPDF on reaching this important milestone of beginning to construct a headquarters for the Ministry of Defense that is worthy of worthy of the name of UPDF. Today is an important day, the day when we begin this journey, the journey of building a decent and Honorable Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs Headquarters. They have said it's going to, the journey will take 3 years, but I hope we shall be able to do it in a shorter period than that. 3 years. 3 years sounds like a long time. Maybe we should talk of 2 years to have all this done in a period of 2 years.
There's a time I visited one of the generals in the chief's block, and he had stepped out of his office to meet a delegation that had come to visit him in the compound, somewhere on the pathways leading to the chief's block. And he said, I could not bring these people to see where I sit because, one, it would render me a very incredible person. I would find it difficult to go back the next visit to speak to these people about the achievements or that we have made or that we expect to make as an institution of defense at UPDF. Secondly, that officer was of some good size and height. So he would fill his office wall to wall. When he would sit in that office, he would fill it wall to wall, that he had nowhere to turn. If you enter that space, you would have to speak to him from the doorway, because he would fill the whole space just by himself. The first time we did a tour of this place, I think I'd just come here some years ago, I was heartbroken, sir. We did a tour and saw where our people sit. I don't know, sir, whether you had opportunity. Maybe you should have had a tour of where we are coming from also before coming here. One of those places is, as you're aware, this was formerly a hospital. So we have a block that used to be a theater, hospital theater. And that's where the majority of your staff officers under the chiefs would sit. It's dark, it has no air, it has no light. But you would expect these people to sit in that place from morning to evening. We had gone there with an intention to address the question of absenteeism or late coming into office. I changed my mind after that and I said, God forgive me, because I cannot expect these people to sit here from 8 to 5, because they will not breathe. But we lived with that situation for some time. The chief's block looked very nice on the outside. Where you're sitting in your block, sir, I remember when you came, we had to apologize about your space because you sit in a cubicle. The same as the ministers and permanent secretary. If I can only describe, I don't have to put it in words, but just put it in your imagination that where we are coming from, so many years down the road, I think since 2007, when this ministry shifted here from Bombo. The first attempt was Tisu, Kololo, for a few strategic offices, and then we moved here. So, partly, we want to say this was budget, because as you know, as you have heard from the CJS, we have not had a budget for this project. It is a multi-billion project. To be an estimation, to give an estimation, sir, from the engineers team, this is about 94 billion shillings of a project, and that is rationalized. You heard from the CJS that we have partly received 10 and we expect another 10. That's 20 out of 94. We have had a budget for some time, though insignificant compared to the magnitude of this project. But I must say, sir, that sometimes it takes visionary, very strategic leadership and guidance to take risks.
Today, is a major step in the commitment of professionalization of the UPDF as guided by His Excellency the President and spearheaded by the Chief of Defense Forces. For long, the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs stroke UPDF, and now the reality of having one is unfolding before us today. Good leadership and unwavering support you have rendered in ensuring that this project takes shape and is implemented. Today's groundbreaking ceremony is a fulfillment of your strategic priorities, that is infrastructure development in the UPDF and the ministry. So let me also take this opportunity to appreciate the Modiva leadership, particularly the top management committee, which held a meeting on 5th of July this year, in which the final project plans were approved to commence the construction works. In order to ensure value for money, quality and timely implementation of the project, the TMC meeting resolved to establish a steering committee to oversee the construction of the headquarters. Sir, pursuant to the above resolution, I was nominated and approved by the CDF to chair the committee, which is currently fully constituted with 11 members. I would like to thank the Office of the PS for their tireless effort in ensuring that the committee members are formally appointed with appointment letters.
For decades, our Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs headquarters has been housed in embarrassing quarters, as Mrs. Buturo was saying. It has not been a good image for the UPDF. Meanwhile, all around us, our neighbors in the region, other countries in Africa have been building magnificent headquarters. And when we visit them, they take us around. They show us how well they are and how badly. Well, they don't tell you how badly you are, but they just show you. They just show you how good they are. So we were suffering that terrible embarrassment, but thank God today we are remedying that problem.
Sir, I'm glad to report that so far, for phase 1 works, we have 10 billion shillings from the last financial year, and we are going to get another 10 billion shillings in the second quarter of this financial year, making it 20 billion in total. I'm happy to report that the work shall be executed by our own UPDF engineers who have built capacity and expanded in number. Their expertise and professionalism will ensure the highest standards of quality works, maintenance of timelines, and cost effectiveness. The headquarters will be the state-of-the-art infrastructure that will be the epicenter for defense activities and a symbol of our strength as UPDF. So far the preliminary works for constructing temporary office structures using prefab containers is nearly complete, and most of the staff whose offices were demolished here have already shifted to the other side. If you have time, sir, could move around to the prefabs after the function. Sir, the project engineers predict that the project will be completed within time frame of 3 years. To achieve this, the steering committee is committed to working closely with the stakeholders to ensure timely funding of the project and enforcing monitoring and evaluation to ensure successful execution. Let me also take this opportunity to thank the Modiva leadership, especially the Office of the PS and Undersecretary of Finance and Administration, for providing a funding line for this project despite limited budget. Lastly, sir, allow me to appreciate you for finding time in your busy schedule to launch this project. It is my pleasure to thank you and all invited guests for gracing this occasion. God bless you all.
Strategic importance that the MODVA headquarters are accommodated in a modern and comfortable setting. This directly contributes to the operational efficiency, coordination, and capabilities of the UPDF. Our new headquarters will incorporate the latest technology and infrastructure to support a modern defense strategy. We are not only building for today, we are building for tomorrow. So this building should take that into consideration. They should incorporate all the latest technologies to help us achieve our work as UPDF even 10, 15 years from now. We'll be building a sustainable and future-ready headquarters. I thank the government, and I particularly thank the President and Commander-in-Chief for his support in making this project a reality. This project exemplifies government's commitment to national security and defense. The anticipated benefits of this headquarters will be improved decision-making processes, better coordination between the joint staff and the services, and enhanced national security. We in the UPDF leadership are committed to maintaining the highest standards in defense and security. I am confident that this new state-of-the-art headquarters will serve as a symbol of the nation's strength and resilience. You know, other countries are proud of their defense headquarters. You go somewhere and they tell you our headquarters is called Pentagon. You go somewhere else, they tell you our headquarters is called Octagon or something. They all have names for it. So we were missing out, and it was reflecting badly on our nation. Once again, thank you to all those who have contributed to this project, and there are many, both within the ministry within the UPDF leadership, and of course in government as a whole. And I thank you all for coming to attend this important ceremony. Asante sana.
That finally we are implementing the long-awaited Ministry of Defense and UPDF headquarters construction. That is going to be a state-of-the-art headquarter with the modern technology in terms of facilities that are going to be available for the ministry and UPDF officials, senior officials. Where we are, that's where it's going to be headquartered. And two, we want to salute the leadership, particularly the CDF and the Ministry of Defense headquarters leadership, for finally putting in place this vision. As the Bible puts it in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, there is time for everything. We started with building capacity, the fighting capacity to defend the country of the UPDF, according to the vision of the Commander-in-Chief. And now, we believe we are still building the capacity, but we believe we have covered a good milestone, a good distance. It's high time we now put the planners for this army, the planners for these defense forces in a suitable and comfortable environment. UPDF headquarters, all actually between towers, as you have seen the artistic impression. Two, the time frame we planned for 3 hours. For 3 years. The CDF has said it should take 2. Now, in the army, when the commander says this, you don't ask why. You ask how high I should jump. So definitely the implementers will work around the clock to ensure that this is done in the 2 years we have been assigned or given.
This place is about 72 acres. And the building is going to be five levels. In a simple language, it's 5 levels. Going to be 5 levels, including the basement, where we are going to be used as archive for our files, for what, everything. And it's going to have the lifts. It's going to have all quality material that's going to be used here of high end. That's why you see the cost is a bit high. We had a brief from the Chief of Defense Forces and other partners in of defense. We made sure that everything that is required is put inside. It was planned from day one, and for your information, CDF the one who gave us all the specifications, since he has seen all other defense headquarters which consists. So he made sure that we cater for every equipment or every specialty that is required was catered for.
The budget is 94 billion. The budgeted cost of the two twin towers. However, Ministry of Finance remains our sole source of finances. We live in hope. We have faith that we shall get this money. Already we have already 10 billion, and 10 billion is coming this financial year in the second quarter. Who knows? By the end of the fourth quarter, we may have gotten another 10 billion, making it 30. That will be almost a third of the journey. So I have confidence that we shall achieve this. It's a question of the will. It's a question of dedication and commitment. Yeah. What happens to the chances are that the old offices are going to be demolished, particularly across on the other side of the hill. We are going to have a senior officers' mess. We are going to have a gym. So inevitably, those will be also demolished. So phase 1 is building these offices. Phase 2 is facilities to augment the officers' welfare, mess, and then the welfare or fitness department.